The other option is that in Reg B, what it says is if you have non-consumer applicants and you owe them an adverse action notice, if their gross annual revenue was less than or equal to $1 million for the previous fiscal year, okay, there's a little bit different way you can handle it. And then there's yet another way if the gross annual revenue was greater than $1 million. Now, let's just stop for a moment. Gross annual revenue prior fiscal year. If you're going to use this, you have to identify that. That burden of proof rests with you. So if you're going to follow this process, you better have procedures for identifying gross annual revenue, because that's how you determine which bucket it fills in with respect to how you're going to respond by way of an adverse action notice. For example, page number 12, you still have to give them the statement of action taken, the no or the no but in the counteroffer, orally or in writing. So you still have to provide that information. And then the right to the reasons has to be made in writing. So you don't get away from not putting something in writing. You still have to put it in writing. And then the reasons, okay, have to also be included. And so you still have to have the information. Has to have your bank's name and address and regulator if you flip over to the top of the next page, page 13. Now, there is a thing about telephone apps. Okay, you can respond orally if the application is entirely by telephone, but you still have to be able to go and access the reasons and send them out in writing if they ask for them. So either way, you still have to document something. What we see happen with institutions that use this line in the sand, this metric of $1 million for adverse action, is they don't do a good job of documenting the reasons. They probably very rarely have to send them out, but you still have to have them for auditors and examiners to be able to review your files. And soon 1071 is going to require you to report it anyway, so you're going to have it. So you can still do things this way, but you've got to make sure your documentation, okay, the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Now, what if they're greater than $1 million? Same thing. You just don't have to send them anything necessarily. A lot of this can be done orally if you look at it, okay? But if they request the reasons in writing, you have to respond in writing, which means you still have to have the documentation. And then 1071 here in just a bit is going to require you to map over the reasons for adverse action into the 1071 reporting. So when we go into financial institutions, to connect this back to something I said earlier, when we have a lack of denied, withdrawn, incomplete counteroffers, okay, that sheds light on that we're not going to have anything to report. And those codes are all going to stick out like a sore thumb. You're going to have a loan application register where everything is approved. And we're going to say, wait a minute, nobody gets turned down, nobody walks away, nobody gets a no but. Hey, those things are going to stick out like a sore thumb. You still need documentation.